Hello, so tonight we're making baked mac and cheese. We already got the water boiling and we're just gonna we got some salt, we got some heavy salt in the water. Brought it to a boil and we're just gonna put a fair amount of pasta in there, enough to portion out the baking dish here. So we'll set that aside and let this come to a boil. Just kind of get it under the water there. And we got our oven preheated at the 325. Ultimately, we're going to cook it at 350. And then broil at the end just to get a nice crisp on top. We're going to do breadcrumbs on top. We're going to season it with a little garlic butter. And we got 2 cheeses. We're going to use hot honey goat cheese. So it's like a little bit of a hot honey flavor. And then some mild cheddar. So we're going to kind of mix the 2 of those. And I'm going to get started by cutting up some of the cheeses, our butter, and yeah, so for right now, while we let the pasta boil, I'm just going to go ahead and get started with cutting open the cheese and slicing that up. See how this goes. Kind of a little liquidy, it's alright though. Let's see, just kind of squish it out here anyway. It's all going into mac and cheese. It actually feels pretty good. Let's see. So, kind of want to taste it. That's really good. That's really good. You can taste the honey. It's a big mess. I'm making a huge mess. Hey, what's food without a mess sometimes? Our pasta's starting to come to a boil. We're gonna let that cook for about 4 to 5 minutes till it's al dente. So we'll just I think that's a big mess. So we're gonna, that's all the cheese. That's all the hot honey cheese we're gonna use. And then we'll do the rest mild cheddar. And then, let's see, so we'll make sure this is stirred. Kind of turn it down a little bit. Don't want it sticking to the bottom there. Got about a few minutes left on this pasta. So it's nice and what they say al dente. Our knife is nice and messy. Not as planned, but it's alright. That's some creamy cheese, man. It's actually very tasty. Wash off my knife real quick. It tastes like a cream cheese almost. It's like a sweet and hot cream cheese. Very creamy. Should make for some good tasting mac and cheese here. Try to skirt that back so we can get to this cheddar. We'll cut this open here. I need some, I don't know where my scissors are. I was looking for my scissors, I couldn't find them. There we go. Pull this out of there. Kind of just start cutting this up in the slithers. I don't have a shredder at the moment, so we're just kind of improvising here. We're making the best out of what we've got. Let's get this pasta stirred up a little more. We greased our pan up. I kind of got a stick of butter and just coated it, the baking pan, so that's ready to go. Our oven's already preheated. We got next we are gonna start to whisk together our sauce in this pan right here. So that'll be in about a minute. Just want to make a little more progress on this cheese. It would be nicer if this cheese was a little more finely cut up. Though, we'll work with it. Just kind of pull it apart. And let's see where we're at with the pasta. We need a wet net. Hands are all sticky. That's almost looking pretty good there. We're gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of butter into our nice frying pan here. Turn this on medium heat. Go ahead and get a nice, about a quarter stick of butter in there. Put it on medium heat, like I said. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle in some flour. I'm going to switch spots here. Sprinkle in some flour. And then some milk, and then the cheese, and then we're gonna turn the heat off, and we're gonna put the cheese in there. So our pasta is almost where we want it to be. What they say, al dente, not too mushy, just right. So let me see here. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I'm gonna let it cook for another 20 seconds here, but it's pretty well done. Just get a little bit softer, and that'll be good to go. Butter's starting to melt there. Spread that around, get the pan nice and greased up. Now, I'm not working with any heavy cream or half and half, so we're just gonna stick with milk today. I got 2%. But a lot of people will use some cream or some half and half to make their sauce with. I actually really like milk, so hopefully it turns out well. Don't do this at home. Don't use your teeth. I just I'm a big example. So let's see here. So the pasta, we're gonna turn this off. We're gonna go drain this, and I'll be right back. We got our big bowl of pasta there, all drained. So what we're gonna do to avoid that sticking together is we're just gonna add a little oil in there. Just a little bit. We're gonna mix it around, get the oil spread out. Kind of pull that away from the heat. I don't want the pasta sticking to the floor of the pot, so we're gonna try to just get that oil on there. Keep that away from the heat there. And then let's see where we're at with the butter. So this is nice and melted. We're gonna start sprinkling in some flour and creating our sauce here. Let's see, let me wash my spoon. Or grab another one. So I got another spoon for the flour. We're just gonna add some flour in here. Kind of mix this around with our fork. You kind of want it to look like sand almost, nice and sandy. So let's see here. We're gonna add some more butter here in a second. This whole stick of butter is dedicated to this mac and cheese. So make sure to be careful with this. Throw that in there. Get a little bit A little thicker, a little more. Just a little bit more there. Keep stirring this. That's not sticking at all, so that's good. Pasta looks perfectly cooked. I'm actually going to turn this up a little bit more. Just get the process going a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. We're actually going to add a little milk. Start getting it to the sauce. And you just kind of want to whisk it here. You just kind of want to whisk it together. Come back with some more butter, some more milk. And of course, some more thickener. Like I said, just whisk it together. Kind of making a sauce here. Kind of trying to mush all this, kind of get it separated so it's not clumpy. Guys, want to let me know a dish you'd like to see next? I got green bean casserole I'm gonna be doing soon. Oh, that's starting to come together well. As you can see, it's starting to turn into a nice sauce, nice thick sauce. So we want a little more in there. And then we're gonna start adding the cheese after we lower the heat. But let's first get the rest of this butter going in there. Let's get the rest of that butter. And then some more thickener, about that much right there. Throwing some more milk. About right there. Just kind of eyeing it up. I don't really use measuring cups that much. I just prefer to eye it up. Still just whisking this together, making a nice sauce right here. Nice creamy sauce. Kind of just want to get it just right. Pasta real quick. And then we're actually going to use this pasta bowl to mix everything, and then ultimately we're going to pour it into the baking pan right there. So let's see here. This is starting to come together well. Let's see. About to get ready to lower the heat on this. Add some more milk. Lower the heat a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and lower that heat up. Add a little more milk. Just want a little bit thinner is all. You guys can follow me. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Flip, Facebook. Usually go by All Goods in the Woods. I live in the woods and it's all good. But I usually like to cook, talk sports, and just cook it. So feel free to follow me, subscribe. It's free right now to subscribe. So trying to cook up some good videos. All right. So what we're gonna do is grab some of this cheese. Just kind of drop it in there. I do wish it was a little more shredded. Unfortunately, I don't have a shredder, so just kind of try to pull it apart. We got this on low heat right now, so we're gonna just try to get it melty in there. And we're gonna need more cheese in that, so I'm gonna have to cut up some more cheese, but that's all right. Curious to see how this hot honey goat cheese tastes. My first time having it. And you guys can use whatever cheese you like. I mean, it's really the beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so. Get some more cheese going. We're ultimately going to put this whole block in there. Try to get it finer than what it shows. Try to get it in the littler pieces in it. And then start to heat up a little bit, get it melted. Ideally, you'd want to have shredded cheese and just be able to mix it, and the sauce be already warm enough where it melts in there. However, I don't got a shredder, so I'm just kind of throwing globs in there, and I'm actually gonna turn it up a little bit so it can take the melting. Put it on medium actually. And you guys can use Ritz crackers or whatever you may like over the top. I'm going to use breadcrumbs today. You can make it as cheesy as you want. I kind of just eye it up and think about how it might taste. So I'm going to add just a little bit more cheese here and probably leave it at that. Mix this up here. There. It's starting to melt in there nice. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this to the mac and cheese, stir it all together. We're gonna throw some breadcrumbs, or we're gonna pour it into the pan, throw the breadcrumbs on top, and wrap it with some aluminum foil, throw it in the oven for about 20 minutes on 350. So our cheese is starting to melt a little more, which is a good sign. My hands are a mess, as you guys can see. But if you're not getting your hands dirty, You're not really putting in the work. Nah, I'm just kidding. Sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty. That's starting to melt nice in there. That's gonna be a nice cream sauce on that mac and cheese, man. That's gonna. That looks good. Add a little more cheese here. Can it be too cheesy or what? Can you make it too cheesy? How do you guys feel about that? Is there such thing as too much cheese? I think there's to a point, but mac and cheese, it's the name of the game is cheesy, right? May add a little more milk just to make this a little bit thinner. This is kind of thick actually. It may be good like that. Keep whisking it together like that. Just gonna add a little bit of milk just to thin it up just a tiny bit. I kind of like the way it is right now, but just gonna add a little milk as we go. That's coming together nice. It's almost melted the clumps. That's all we're really waiting on right now is the clumps of cheese to melt. But as you can see, that's a nice yellow. That's a nice yellow cheese sauce right there. Probably make for a good dip. That flour really helped thicken it. And you want to do this, you want to whisk it constantly. You don't want it to clump together. You want to keep constantly whisking it, so. It's looking pretty good. So we're going to come down, we're going to turn down the heat now. Put that on low. And then we are going to, that's right, we're going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to put a little more oil in here. Just like so. Stir this around. Stir that around nice. Looks nice and shiny. So then we're going to cut that off. We're going to pour this in here, right over top. Scrape out the excess. Make sure it's all in there. Let's not miss any. Throw that there. Make sure you set it off to the side a little bit because I got some cheese dripping over mine, some sauce dripping over the side. You don't want that going onto the hot stove top because it'll get stuck and make a big mess. But as you guys can see, this is looking nice and creamy and good. So after that's nice and mixed, we're gonna come over here and pour it right on in our baking pan here. Let's see. I'm pretty full there. Let's see. Got a little bit of room. That's just about the right amount. Got a little more here. Try to get it all in there. Oh, I'm a big mess. All right. Now let's just smooth that out on the top. And then, like I said, we're gonna add some breadcrumbs to the top for a little bit of crisp. So I'm just gonna sprinkle them on top here, just how I like. Like a little bit of crisp here. And that looks good. That looks good. What do you guys think? So then we're going to cover it with some aluminum foil. Sorry. We're going to cover it with some aluminum foil. And we're just going to throw that in there for 20 minutes. And in we go. In we go. Close that up and we'll be back in 20 minutes.